Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. What I want to do with this channel is just talk about Blu-rays, Blu-ray hauls, Blu-ray videos, talk about the Blu-rays I got over the last couple weeks, anything that I really want to talk about, and just do basically tours of my Blu-ray collection. I have quite a few, as you can see. I've amassed about 800 Blu-rays in like 3-4 years, I think. And so what I can do is do Blu-ray tours and stuff like that later on with all my imports, criterions, and all that kind of stuff. But what I want to do is start with a simple first Blu-ray video update. So let's just get into it right now. The first two I want to talk about are Shout Factory releases, actually. So the first one I got here is the 7% Solution from 1976. It was a pretty decent movie. So it is a Sherlock Holmes movie. You wouldn't know it from the start because it actually starts off with Sherlock Holmes fighting a cocaine addiction, which is why it's called the 7% Solution. And so that's it was really strange. Another side note, when it started, it really started very similar, almost identical. The first minute or two of the movie was identical to Sherlock Holmes 2 Game of Shadows. So for a second I thought, I don't know, if Guy Ritchie ripped off this one, or was it an homage? I'm not too sure. Two other side notes. So this one stars Alan Arkin and Robert Duvall, both who sport terrible accents in this movie. Robert Duvall has a terrible British accent, and Alan Arkin has a terrible German accent, which is quite funny. But it was pretty decent, pretty fun, little romp. You know, typical Sherlock Holmes affair. So if you like that kind of style of film, you'll probably like this one. And another fun fact, it was nominated for an Oscar for Best Screenplay in 1976. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, it was pretty good. Definitely good, worth the watch. The second Shout Factory I have is A Boy and His Dog. Now, this is one I was really interested in checking out for a long time on DVD, but I just never got around to it. And finally, when Shout Factory announced it, I had to get it. This was written by Harlan Ellison, which he actually won the Hugo Award for Best Novella that year, I believe, for this story. And is directed by L.Q. Jones, who I think this is basically his one and only major release. But to the movie, it's pretty cool. It's like a post-apocalyptic movie with Don Johnson, and he has a dog that he can talk with via like telepathy. And you know, they go on an adventure through the wastelands, and you know, they're trying to find food, and mainly they're trying to find women for Don Johnson so that he could procreate and whatnot. But it's kind of trashy. It's that trashy 1975 cinema, that kind of cool sci-fi style from that era. So if you're kind of interested in that, I suggest you check it out. It's kind of cool. You know, it's not a huge undiscovered gem, but I don't know, it's definitely worth a check out. Really happy Shout Factory released this one. The other ones I'm looking at right now, Only God Forgives, with this very sexy slipcover. One of the best ones I've seen in a long time. Now the slipcover is I think Canadian exclusive. America didn't get it. But anyways, the movie, I was very excited to see it a long time, ever since I went to Cannes. But I remember it being booed at Cannes, and there was some clapping as well. So it was a very divisive movie. Definitely not as well received as Drive, Nicholas Winding Refn and Ryan Gosling's previous film project. But what I will say with this movie, I did quite like it. I love the neon style of this film. I love the just some of the music, some of the shots and the scenery in Thailand were fantastic. This film is quite similar to his previous movie, Valhalla Rising, in terms of very silent, not a lot of talking. At some points, you're kind of confused about the motivations of the characters and whatnot. But I did really like the film. It was pretty good. I love the Thai actor who plays the detective in this film. It's just great. Pretty good acting there, and some really fantastic shots, including him, especially with some shots in a karaoke bar in Thailand, which was just absolutely fantastic. Definitely suggest you check it out if you like Refn's previous work like Bronson, which I think is totally underrated. Definitely check this out, or give it a rent. I'm sure it'll be on Netflix in America in no time. So, you know, I like this one quite a bit. The next one I have here is This Is the End. Now I meant to check this one out in theaters this summer, but never got around to it, unfortunately. So just waited for the Blu-ray and purchased it. I thought it was pretty good, pretty funny. I love all these guys. Obviously, they're all really really funny. I like the fact that they kind of break the fourth wall and play themselves in this film. Some pretty good stuff in here. I liked it way a lot more than Hangover 3, which I thought was not really that great. But definitely, if you're into that kind of style of comedy, you know what this is going into it. So definitely check it out if you're interested in this movie. It was worth this. I think $17 I paid for this thing. So I got some steelbooks here. I got the Hobbit Extended Edition steelbook, which just came out this past Tuesday. Now I remember a year ago when they released the original Blu-ray, they had announced that a extended cut's coming out. So obviously I decided to wait and get this one. I remember I saw the Hobbit in 48 frames a second the first time it came out, and I didn't quite fall in love with it like I fell in love with Lord of the Rings, but it was still a fun movie, and hoping this cut I'll like a bit more. Maybe the second time around I'll fall in love with it more. But I'm very excited about this one. I think it was about $30 for the steelbook. Pretty cool. It's got all the special features and just the Blu-ray, the 3D Blu-ray, which I don't have a 3D player or 3D TV, so it doesn't really matter to me, but it was the only way to get the steelbook. So very, very excited to watch this one again. So this one I think is 20 minutes longer than the original cut. So it clocks in around 3 hours, 182 minutes, I believe. So I'll have to set aside a night or an afternoon for this thing. The second steelbook I got, which is a great movie, Pacific Rim. If you guys haven't checked it out, I highly suggest you check it out. It's an awesome giant robot on giant Godzilla type monster movie. This movie knows what it is. It's super fun. Doesn't take itself seriously. It's just action, action, action with a little bit of story that's quirky and stupid, but you just can't help but fall in love with it. Directed by Guillermo del Toro. Really just fun film. And I had to get the steelbook because I'm a sucker for these things. They're pretty cool. It's got the DVDs on the inside. A lot of bonus features. Here's the back. Yeah, just a really great film. Just fun overall. Classic. I think one of my favorites of this year, because this year was a pretty so-so year for film. But great thing. Definitely check it out here. Check it out. You won't regret it if you like action films. And the last one I watched actually recently was the Criterion release of Wild Strawberries by Ingmar Bergman. Now this is my first Bergman film. Usually I think people start with The Seventh Seal, but I haven't checked that one out yet. I'm probably going to get that one on my next Criterion haul. But overall I thought it was a pretty good film. Deals with like introspective life stuff, end of life stuff, and about a guy going back to his family and realizing that he wasn't the best father he could have been, and how his mother influenced him, and now he influenced his son to be also kind of a cold person. And by the end of the movie there's kind of a bit of optimism because it's like, things can get better, things can change. So overall pretty good film, and glad I got this one and finally see my first Ingmar Bergman film. But speaking of Criterions, there is a Criterion sale on right now at Barnes & Noble. So if you guys are into Criterions, go check them out. They have a 50% off sale, which in Canada is a lot because they typically are like $30 to $40 to even $50 for a regular release. So definitely check the sale out. That's usually when I stock up twice a year. So I'll probably get another haul soon, so I'll probably make that video as well. But yeah, so I'm going to post all the links to these films in the section below, in case you're interested in seeing any of these ones. Other than that, you can leave some comments or suggestions about other movies I should check out. And that's it for my first video, and hopefully I'll make some more. Okay, thanks a lot, guys.